Welcome to Lead with Linnea, where we talk about real leadership for real people in the real world. I'm Linnea Rader, and I've spent 2 decades in public service leadership. From accounting to my current role as the Director of Finance and Human Resources, I've seen pretty much everything. The spectacular successes, the painful failures, and everything in between that makes leadership both challenging and incredibly rewarding. Here's the thing. Leadership is not reserved for people with fancy titles or corner offices. Every single one of us can be a leader in our personal and professional lives. Whether you're managing a team of 50 or just trying to figure out how to navigate office politics, whether you're a frontline worker or sitting around a boardroom table, leadership skills matter. My approach? I skip the fluff and get straight to what really works. You won't find theoretical frameworks or feel-good platitudes here. Instead, you'll get practical, tested strategies from someone who's been in the trenches, made the mistakes, and learned the hard lessons so that you don't have to. Through Lead with Linnea, I provide leadership development training and coaching because I'm passionate about helping people discover their authentic leadership potential. And honestly, some days you need to laugh to keep from crying, and some days you just need someone to tell you the truth about what leadership really looks like. So whether you're listening while you commute, taking a walk, or just need someone to remind you that you've got this, I'm here for you. So let's dive in and talk about what it really takes to lead with authenticity, impact, and maybe a little bit of sanity. Ready? Let's go. Protecting your energy, when to engage, and when to walk away. I responded to a Facebook comment once, a complaint that I felt was personally attacking me. I couldn't let it go. I had to defend myself. I had to set the record straight. It didn't go well. I got spoken to by my boss and a commissioner. The comment I thought I needed to respond to, it became a bigger deal because I responded. My emotional reaction made everything worse. That situation cost me time, energy, and face. And here's the thing that really stuck with me. These situations become part of our identity. They stick with you. They become who you're perceived to be. It takes a long time to break through that and prove you've grown up, changed, are doing better. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. The agency I work with was facing a lot of negative publicity. A former employee or two took some cheap shots at an unnamed employee that could easily be perceived as being aimed at me. I could have responded. I could have rebutted. I had information. I had facts. I had the truth on my side. But I didn't. That choice, that moment of walking away instead of engaging, is what I want to talk about today. Because knowing when to protect your energy and when to spend it is one of the most important skills you'll develop as a leader. The cost of every battle. Here's what nobody tells you about leadership. You can't fight every battle. You literally do not have the energy. Every time you engage in something, whether it's conflict, debate, a correction, or a defense, you're spending energy. And that energy is finite. When you spend your energy on the wrong battles, you don't have it for the right ones. You don't have it for your team. You don't have it for strategic thinking. You don't have it for the work that actually matters. I've had disagreements between members of our team about how to handle situations in which I've reacted emotionally. I could have been right in the situation, but the emotional reaction made it wrong. Walking away would have made a far better impact. Being right doesn't matter if you're wrong about how you handle it. So the recent test. So back to those Facebook comments a few weeks ago. In the moment, I struggled. I read the comments. I listened to the backlash. It hurt. It hurt a lot. I take a lot of pride in my job. I work hard to support our team. Seeing my work, my commitment, my integrity questioned publicly, that stings. But I realized there wasn't anything I could say to change anyone's mind. What was done is done. Whatever I said would have fueled the flame rather than extinguish it. So I walked away. I let it be. I didn't defend myself. The outcome? I came out as the bigger person. The controversy died down because there was nothing to fuel it. And the people who matter, the people who know my work, they already knew the truth. That's growth. That's learning when to protect your energy instead of spending it on battles that you just can't win. The energy drains you face. As leaders, we face energy drains constantly. For me, one of my biggest is the regular building of silos. Departments want to put up walls. They make decisions only for themselves without regard to how their decisions impact others. People get hurt feelings because they feel someone is invading their lane. The reality is, we are one team. A great and knowledgeable person I know, Dr. Lewis Bender, explains this as the ask and discuss theory. We ask for input, we discuss the options, and then someone makes a decision. Leadership isn't a democracy. Someone still is in charge. But breaking down these silos, fighting the territorial mentality, that drains energy like nothing else. And you have to decide, is this the battle worth my energy right now? So how to know when to walk away? It's a tough decision to know when to walk away versus when to engage. The best way I found is to walk away when emotions are involved and get involved when data is. Now that seems really, really simple. I totally see that. But in real time, keeping your emotions in check and being able to make that logical decision, that's tough. So here are some questions I ask myself. Will engaging actually change anything? If the answer is no, walk away. You can't change someone's mind who's already decided. Am I reacting emotionally? If yes, step back. Wait. Give yourself time to cool down. Emotional reactions rarely lead to good outcomes, even when you're right. Is this about ego or about impact? Sometimes we want to engage because we want to be right. We want to defend ourselves. We want to prove something. That's ego. It's not going to have a real impact. It's not worth your energy. And then what's the worst that happens if I don't engage? Often, the answer is nothing, or at least nothing that matters in the long run. So the guilt of walking away. Here's the hard part. There's guilt involved, especially when you have information and there's misinformation out there. I want to give the data, the information necessary for people to understand. I want to correct the record. I want people to know the truth. But the reality is that the most vocal of people don't typically want information. They are set in what they believe, and no amount of work you do will fix it. I spend hours sometimes worrying about what others think, or if people will think I don't care. But the reality is, I really absolutely care. I care deep down inside, and I want to do the right things. But I, as with everyone else, make my own decisions based on the best information I have with the best of intentions. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about your capacity to lead effectively, that you're choosing your battles wisely. So the balancing act. My energy is hard to protect, but it is necessary. If I'm drained and burned out, I can't be the best leader. In contrast, I can't only be concerned with my energy. My team needs me to be aware of their energy as well, and how my protection could impact them. You need to protect your energy so you can show up for your team. But you also need to engage when your team needs you to engage, when staying silent would leave them vulnerable or unsupported. The key is being intentional about where you spend your energy instead of just reacting to everything that comes at you. So what would I tell my younger self? If I could go back and talk to that version of me who responded to that Facebook comment, here's what I would say. Take deep breaths, step back, work to remove emotion from the decisions. Be clear that this doesn't mean remove empathy from existence. Empathy is essential. You need to understand how people feel, what they're experiencing, what they need. But remove emotion from decisions. That's very different. Empathy helps you understand. Emotion clouds your judgment. You can care deeply about something and still choose not to engage. You can be hurt by the comments and still decide they're not worth responding to. You can be right and still walk away. That's not a weakness, that's wisdom. When to spend your energy. So if you're not spending your energy on every battle, where should you spend it? Spend it on your team, on developing people, on having meaningful conversations that build trust and capability. Spend it on strategic thinking, on solving real problems, on moving important projects forward. Spend it on relationships that matter, on building bridges instead of defending positions. And spend it on work that aligns with your values and your organization's mission. Everything else, let it go. Your energy audit. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pay attention to where your energy is going. Notice when you get pulled into something. Notice when you feel drained. Notice when you're spending energy on something that doesn't really matter. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will engaging here help me be a better leader? Will it support my team? Will it move us forward? If the answer is no, practice walking away, even when it's hard, even when you want to respond, even when you're right. Your energy is your most valuable resource as a leader. Guard it fiercely. The difference between the Facebook comment years ago and the recent negative publicity isn't that one situation was more important than the other. It's that I've learned the value of my energy. I've learned that being right doesn't matter if you're exhausted, that proving a point doesn't matter if you've lost your capacity to lead, that defending yourself doesn't matter if it damages your relationships and your reputation. I've learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Your challenge this week: identify one battle you need to walk away from, one conflict you need to let go, one argument you need to stop having. Protect your energy. Save it for what matters. Choose your battles wisely, because you can't fight them all. And the ones worth fighting require you to show up with your full energy, your best thinking, your clearest judgment. Walk away from the rest. Trust me, it gets easier with practice. What battle are you going to walk away from this week? Share it in the comments. Let's support each other in protecting our energy.
Thank you for joining me today on Lead with Linnea. I hope something we talked about resonates with you and gives you a tool you can actually use in your leadership journey. Remember, leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional, authentic, and willing to keep learning and growing. You're going to face situations you never saw coming, make decisions that feel impossible, and sometimes wonder if you're cut out for this whole leadership thing. It's normal. It's human. And that's exactly why we need leaders like you who are willing to do the hard work. If today's episode sparked some ideas about training or coaching for you or your team, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at Linnea at leadwithlinnea.com or give me a call at 269-621-5282. Whether you're looking for one-on-one coaching, team training, or need someone to speak at your next event, let's talk about how we can help you and your people become the leaders your organization needs. You can find more resources, read my blog post, and learn more all about my services at leadwithlinnea.com. As always, carry social kindness with you everywhere you go. This world needs you and your positive mindset. Until next time, keep leading and keep growing.